This week we are going to find out if my most anticipated books of the year are worth the wait. I always have so many books that I put on my most anticipated books of the year that it is impossible for me realistically to read them all. So we are doing a video in which I read 3 of them. These are all ARCs that I've had sent to me either via NetGalley or this one's my first physical ARC ever that a publisher sent me, which is very exciting. So I have 3 titles that we are going to read in this video. I'm excited, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to send you back to me from the past with a little bit lower energy. Unfortunately, both Dan and I are very sick. I am feeling a little bit better today. We're both feeling a little bit better today, but we have been basically sat in this room in bed watching The White Lotus for the past few days. Dan hadn't seen season 1 or 2. So in order to get caught up in everything, we're binging both of those seasons so that we can watch season 3, because I did not expect Greg to be making a reprise in season 3. So as soon as we saw that, I said we have to go back and watch the first 2. But I have a lovely cup of tea, which is healing me. And Dan went and got me a cinnamon roll from my favorite bakery here. It's called Roots. If you ever find yourself in Samara, they have the best cinnamon rolls. And I am halfway through reading our first book for this video, which is Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear. I was really excited to read this book this week because I was supposed to be getting scuba certified tomorrow, which is like a lifelong dream of mine, and I was really hoping, because there's a lot of turtles around here, we would get to see some turtles going scuba diving, because our main character in this book, her favorite animal is turtles, and I was very excited about the turtle opportunities that I would have this week, but unfortunately my head is very stuffed up and I do not think it would be safe for me to dive, so I'm going to have to reschedule that. But this sickness means we have a cozy week full of nothing to do but laying in bed, attempting to work a little bit, but mostly reading and watching TV. So Dan's been getting into reading a lot. I think we might do some Skyrim themed reading sprints tonight. We'll see. Let me talk to you about Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear. This is the next book in the Wayward Children's series. It came out in January of 2025. I got an ARC for it. I had it for months. I was really excited to read it before release date, and I just never got around to it. Life has just been too busy right now, and I've been having a hard time staying on top of things, but that's just life. We're gonna get to it when we get to it. And that's this week. I've been absolutely eating this up, and because it's already out, I have been listening to the audiobook and the ebook. It's available on Everand if you have an Everand subscription. And I've been loving it. I really like that the narrator is using a Russian accent. It really helps me feel a little bit more connected to our main character. She grew up in Russia until she was about, I think, 6 or 7 years old. She was born with only one arm, and it never bothered her. She just learned other ways of doing things, never really thought of herself as disabled. And then she came to the United States. She was adopted by US parents, and they have now just fit her with a prosthetic. And the prosthetic is so hard for her to get used to because it's this thing that she never missed. She never had an arm. She never missed having an arm. And now with this prosthetic, she has a much harder time doing things. It's supposed to be helping her, right? But it's actually hurting her, and it's drawing more attention to the fact that she doesn't have an arm. And now people are so concerned and interested in talking about the arm instead of talking to her, which I thought was an incredible theme that comes out of this. Sean McGuire always does an insanely good job with this series. If you haven't read this series yet, what we're doing is we're following different children. We are either in Eleanor West's home for wayward children, or we are following one of the children themselves. And this home is where these kids go after they have been to other worlds, and then they find themselves back in our world, and they're trying to readjust to life here. Poor Dan coughing in the next room. The really interesting thing about these books is that so many different topics are covered because these kids are struggling to adapt to life here. That's why they end up going to these portal worlds. And so adjusting back to our life when they find themselves back in it is really, really difficult for them. And our main character here, Nadia, is going to go to this watery world. She has just fallen through her door and ended up in her world, and I'm very, very excited to explore it. So far, I'm loving it. It's, I think, my favorite. The second book remains my favorite, I think, but this one is already so incredible and so good, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I don't think even halfway through yet, but I really am just loving the nuance that takes place here. We're having so many different conversations about disability, the way that society makes us disabled instead of our differing ability making us disabled. Other people telling her that she has a lack is making her have a lack instead of the actual lack of arm, because she never missed it. She never had one, and she never really needed one. She learned how to live life with one arm, whereas everyone else learned how to live life with two arms. And it wasn't until someone was like, hey, put this fake arm on, that she was like, oh, this is now causing me to not be able to do things that I want to do. And now I'm really excited to explore this world. I always love exploring a new world with this series, especially this week when I am sick. That will be good. Okay, I'm gonna eat my cinnamon roll. I'm gonna read some more of this book, and I will see you guys when I have finished it, and hopefully I'm feeling a lot better. We are alive again. We have beaten our sickness. It took us almost a week to get over, which was horrific, but I finished reading Adrift, Incarnations, Clean and Clear, and I loved it. I think this is maybe my favorite. Down Among the Sticks and Bones is so good, and I think I would have to do a reread in order to determine which of these I like better. But if you're looking for a reason to get back in to the We Were Children series, if you've maybe not enjoyed the last couple, the 10th book is exceptional. If you haven't read this series before, I highly recommend it. I love them so much. It is a series that I will always continue to pick up. I really enjoyed Nadia's story. I really enjoyed the audiobook experience of this. I read a little bit of it physically, but most of it on audio, and I really loved everything about it. We are going to this beautiful world. There's such an in-depth sort of magic system in here. I feel like this is the most explained maybe we've had, because it's to do with different weights of water, and I just found the science of the magic to be very interesting to me, and determining like what water is light enough for you to breathe and what water is heavy enough for you to drown in it. Just so interesting. The turtle companions in here are so amazing. I loved them so much. I really loved the story in here of disability and the different ways that Nadia felt disabled and didn't feel disabled based on the society around her, and then also the ways that she was given mobility aids in really helpful ways and really harmful ways. I thought it was just exceptionally well done. It's 5 stars. I loved it. I am also very grateful that we are feeling better, because Dan's parents arrived today in Costa Rica, so I'm very excited to see them. And we have our next book to read. I'm gonna go ahead and get packed up and get laundry started so that we can make it over there in time while I tell you about our next book, which is The 10 Incarnations of Rebellion by Vaishnavi Patel. I absolutely love this house. This is actually the same house that my parents rented when they were staying here for Christmas. We have been reading The 10 Incarnations of Rebellion, and I've had to pull myself away from this pool so that I can talk to you about this, because I'm gonna finish it. This is so good. I think I might like this even more than Kaikei. I don't know if I can say that. I love that book so much. This is 100% gonna be 5 stars from the first page, the first sentence. I was hooked. Every single section of this is following our main character Kalki at different ages. And so she's saying, at this age, I learned blank. And it is so freaking good. It's everything that I love about Vaishnavi Patel's writing. This is so incredible. And I think Goddess of the River, I think it's so hard to have your second book be as much of a hit as your first book. The third book is really what solidifies whether or not you're gonna continue to be able to put out really excellent books. Vaishnavi Patel has done it with this. This is so incredibly good and exactly what I remember from Kaikei. I think Goddess of the River is also good. I will continue to recommend it widely, but this is definitely on the same level as Kaikeyi was, and Goddess of the River didn't hit quite as hard for me. Let me tell you what's going on in here. We are rebelling against the British. This is an alternate history, so the British have retained control of India, and now we are in the 60s. Late 60s, we're trying to start a revolution, we're trying to overthrow them. One of the things that I love about Vaishnavi Patel's writing is that she is talking about these overarching, large macro scale things that have impact on a lot of people's lives, but she's also really, really good at showing us how one individual grows and changes and their relationships. That's what I loved so much about Kaikeyi's. We were just following this one individual over her whole life, and I feel the same way about this one. And I actually really enjoyed in here, we are getting to hear some of the stories that she's done the retellings of in here. And I thought that was really, really cool. Anyways, I'm loving absolutely everything about this. It is queer, which I am loving. There's fighting, there's things are going wrong, and we get so much joy. It's incredible. And I needed to come in here and tell you that I was loving it before I finish it, because I feel like I'm gonna read it so quickly. So I'm gonna go outside, read this, we're gonna go to dinner, and I'll take you guys along for that. And I will see you when I have finished this. Good morning, my loves. I have finished Incarnations of Rebellion. Before we talk about it, I have to show you this view. How amazing is that? Okay, let's talk about this book. This is gonna be in my top 10 of the year, probably. I loved it so much. We are set in 1960s Mumbai, which has been renamed Kingston because the British are still in power in India. And the afterword in this book was exceptional because I didn't realize this when reading, but all of the things that were done to people were inspired by real events and real things that the British had done. And it was so good. Like, bad things happened, really horrible, awful things happened. There was also so much joy and love in here, and family, and mistakes were made, and people suffered, and it was just the most incredible book ever. Apparently, this was the first book that Vaishnavi Patel wrote, and she wrote the other two books and published them before this one because this one was, she really wanted to get this one right, and she absolutely did. I felt so absolutely connected to our main character, and like I said, we're following her through many years of her life and getting to see her kind of grow up and learn how to love and learn how to fight and learn how to be herself. And she made some really horrible mistakes, and she also was incredibly involved in this revolution. I loved it. I highly, highly recommend that you pick it up. This is the release date, so get it pre-ordered, get out there, go get it. Thank you so much to Night Galley for providing me with an ARC. We are having a town-wide power outage today, which is very fun. So power is out. Dan is about to go drive me into work to see if the generator is working there so I can get some work done. If the power's on at work, we'll be doing some work. If not, we might just have to read more. I'm gonna make the rules. That's what you gotta do in a power outage.
Beach day.
We're back home! I started reading this. I'm only 17 pages in. It's nice so far. We're gonna go to the beach to read. Are you excited? What are you reading?
Yes.
He's reading Blood Meridian,
Yeah.
and we're now arguing over whether or not we're gonna name our child Cormac. So.
Let us know in the comments if Cormac would be a good name.
I want to name our child Milton. Dan likes Cormac.
Milton's
By the way, we're not pregnant. This is not an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
The child doesn't exist yet. Let's go to the beach! I have updates for you. Update number 1, beach day was lovely. That was our first time getting in the old hammock together and reading this. I am now about halfway through. I just want to say how cute it is to have spent so much time now that we've been sick reading with Dan. Reading has always been like my thing that I do. Since we've been dating, Dan has read a total of 2 books, which I'm very proud of him for. He's on his way through his 3rd. We've just been reading so much together and it's been very sweet. I just think it's the cutest thing ever when he's just reading his little book. Okay, let's talk about this before I gush about my fiance. I'm having a really great time with this. It is the perfect little spring cozy fantasy. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Obviously, we'll let you know final thoughts when I finish it, but it is release day today. I am filming this on the 11th of March, which is release day. So congrats to Jimmy Paxton and Rebecca Potos on your book. This is my first ever ARC that was sent to me, and it just holds like such a special place in my heart because for a publisher to reach out to me and physically send me a book in the mail, and the PR package was so cute. I made a whole short on it. It's on YouTube Shorts. It's also on my TikTok. I just posted it. Anyways, I'm loving this. I will say our main character, Yale, super annoying in the first quarter of this book. They have this really privileged life. They're very wealthy, but their future is very set in stone because it's just what their parents want them to do, and they're really like railing against that, like don't want that to be their life, and they end up kind of like running away from all their responsibilities. In the beginning, it's giving a little bit of I don't want to grow up, which is a little cringe, but everyone was a little cringe at 22 years old. I, at 26, just crashed out the other day because I was having a moment where I was worried that I wouldn't have time to do all the things that I want to do. And I did have a little bit of a spiral about that. I'm over it now. My advice to Yale would be, number 1, you do have enough time to do the things that are important to you. Prioritize the things that are important to you. Number 2, you don't have time to do everything. You are gonna have to make sacrifices, and that is, I think, one of the most beautiful things about life is saying, I want to do this thing so much that I'm willing to sacrifice other things that I also want to do in order to do that. And also, getting older is great. I love it. Definitely don't want my brain from even 3 years ago. No, thank you. I'll take this one. Since the beginning of the book, Yale has matured a lot. They are working in the greenhouse with Margot, who has beautiful purple hair. And I want to know in the comments, if your hair grew in a whimsical color out of your head, what color would you want it to be? I think I want it to be this exact purple because that's stunning. I would also accept a strawberry red or a forest green. I also love my natural hair color, but wouldn't it be fun if we could just grow purple hair? Anyways, Margot is a plant witch and she's working in her greenhouses, and there's some drama between their 2 families because her family is in debt to their family, and Yale's family has seized or can seize the rest of Margot's property, and she is desperately trying to keep things afloat. But Yale doesn't know any of this. When they arrive on Margot's doorstep, there is a little romance that is budding between the 2 of them. I'm currently on chapter 16, where they have finally had a smooch and done some other things. Very slow burn romance. I'm really enjoying it so far. But more than the romance, I'm really just enjoying the coziness of it all. I love cozy fantasy, and I just love how simple it is. Yes, there are things that I'm interested in finding out how they shake out. I want to know if Margot's gonna be able to make this potion that she needs to make and save her family business, and I want to know what's up with her parents, and I want to know what Yale's gonna end up doing with their life and what their future is gonna look like. But the stakes are not life-threatening. It's just cozy. The magic system, sweet, simple, unexplained. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm enjoying watching the pretty flowers. We just had a fashion show. It's very fun. And I think perfect for spring because it's so concerned with plants and growing things. And there's just a lot of repairing things and making things better and using your creativity and your blood, sweat, and tears to make something better than it was when you got there. That's what I love about cozy fantasy. I'm having a great time, and we are now finally caught up with White Lotus, so we can watch the 3rd episode. I will bring Dan on later to give you his thoughts on the 3rd season of White Lotus. Do you want to make some salsa with me? We're making quesadillas tonight, which is Dan's favorite, and I have a pineapple that needs to be eaten, so we are gonna make some pineapple salsa. How do you know if a pineapple is ready to be eaten? I'm so glad you asked. First, you sniff the bottom. If it smells sweet but not rotten, good to go. Then you visually inspect the pineapple and you go, okay, there's some yellow on that. That checks out. Then you squish the pineapple. It should give a little bit of give, but not so much give. And then this guy's hairdo is really doing something. He's got an insane cowlick, but you pluck one of the leaves from right in the middle. If it comes right out, your pineapple passes all the tests and you're ready to make salsa. Here's the salsa recipe no one asked for. You're going to need your pineapple that is ready to go. You need jalapenos. Hopefully yours are less mushy than mine are, but we bought them a while ago and I'm not gonna let them go to waste. So, ooh, that one's moldy. I'm just gonna put whatever's not moldy in here. I think probably we'll do about 3 of them. If you're adding sweet things to your salsa, make it spicier. Then you're gonna need an onion. Any variety is fine. I have red, so that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna use the smaller of the 2. Cilantro, I have this much. I'm putting all of it in. I kind of wish I had a bit more. Some sort of citrus. I have this mandarin lime, which is gonna go in there. And then salt, pepper, chop it all up, make it in a tin. Oh, and tomatoes, except Dan ate all my tomatoes. So he needs to buy more. Do you have anyone in your life who just eats tomatoes like apples? Horrifying. He ate all mine, but I would put 2 tomatoes in here as well. That's how you make salsa. Let's listen to our book while we chop things. My camera died, so we're using the GoPro instead. This is the core. The fibers run up and down, and then there's other parts that run sideways. You want to cut this out and leave this.
I would like to submit my official review of Katie's recent batch of chips of salsa. Best batch yet. I think the onions are stronger and the spice is a little bit stronger, and it's really good. More pineapple flavor too. Wow.
Oh, I told them how you eat tomatoes like a psychopath, where you just bite into them.
It's the best snack. Eat a whole tomato. I mean, really, it's great.
Do you want a bite? Here's yours. Oh, you also have to give the people your review of the first 2 seasons of White Lotus.
I love the series as a whole. They're just so interesting of how like relatable it is to how dumb conversations we have today.
Showing like the casual mundanity of just like
perfectly said.
People are not good or evil, people just are.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, like just how corrupt people are, but then also how people are struggling against their corruptions.
Interesting takes. Anyways, we like White Lotus. We're excited to do season 3 tonight. We have a new episode to watch. Cheers, love you all. I will put the recipe for the salsa in the description. Okay, hello. It is time for us to wrap this up. I have finished reading Homegrown Magic. I did enjoy it. I'm going to give it, what do I want to give it? I think I want to give it 3.75 stars. Highly, highly recommend if you're looking for a sweet, cozy fantasy. I find oftentimes that cozy fantasy, much like mystery thriller for me, if I'm in the mood for it, I have a really good time reading it, and that's what happened with this one. But it's really hard for cozy fantasy to get like 4 or 5 stars from me. It has to do something extra, relate to me specifically in a particular way. Still highly recommend this one. Didn't quite get a 4 4-star from me. The romance in here is spicy, so heads up whether you like that or don't like that. Just that's information for you to know. I thought this was really well done, and I would 100% read from these authors again, whether they're gonna write another book together or write books separately on their own. I would read from both of them. I really enjoyed Yale's character development through this, and Margot as well. They definitely were different people at the end of the book than they were at the beginning of the book. We got to see a lot of internal growth happening, as well as some conversations about class and privilege and who has access to power and magic, paralleling some conversations in our society today. And this is out now. So if this sounds like it might be up your alley, I highly encourage you to grab it and pick it up. I had a really lovely time with it. If you're someone who right now wishes that you were covered in dirt and working in a greenhouse, this is 100% the thing that you should pick up. And that brings us to the end of our video. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys these past couple of weeks. And thank you to everyone who has been so sweet with my mixed upload schedule and missing, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I had to move some things around because I was sick, as you saw in this video. I really appreciate you guys being understanding about all of that. And I just want to let you know that I have made some changes to my channel membership. So if you were thinking about joining, I just want to let you know that it is different now. I have gotten rid of the highest tier because I just simply can't keep up with it. Thank you to everyone who joined at the highest tier and stuck with me as I figure out this little experiment. There's just no way that I can put out extended versions of videos and get them out early enough where I think that it's worth it for you to have that as a perk. So I definitely will be bringing it back once I have the capacity to, but the season of life that I'm in right now, traveling and planning a wedding, there's just absolutely no way that I can get it done to a degree of polishness that I expect. So the teacup tier is now the only tier. So if you were an Inkpot and you joined before, your membership has been canceled. Unfortunately, I can't just move you down to the lower tier. So you've been refunded for the past month. If you want to re-sign up, the link is always right next to my name, the little join button, and I'll leave it in the description as well. So if you want to still support me, if you want to still hang out in the Discord, do reading sprints, join our book club, which is being moved from quarterly instead of monthly, and we'll be doing a live show so we can all hang out together for book club. So that's my little housekeeping update on the membership. If you were considering joining, just know there's now only one tier. Okay, and that is everything from this video. We read 3 of my most anticipated books of 2025, and I enjoyed all of them, so that was a huge win. My favorite by far was 10 Incarnations of Rebellion. I'm so excited to see how much everyone else loves this, because I feel like the lovers of Kaikei were small but loud and proud, so I'm really excited to watch more people find this author and pick up her work, because I just think it is absolutely incredible. That is out in June, so make sure you pick that up. Get it pre-ordered if you're interested in it. And that's everything that I have for you today. I will see you all next week. Bye!